We're mainly focusing on this beam right here, this support. Practiced a little bit of welding, and I welded the car today. Ooh. Yes. Optimal. This right here is what I've been working on. Let me get the light on here. So yeah, I got this piece of metal kind of wedged in the crack of the frame. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tack weld each corner, and then I'm just gonna start running bead all through these, all through this right here. And I'll just clean all that up, and then I'll grind it all down, make sure that it's good, and it's, you know, obviously a decent weld, since it's kind of important for the vehicle to not fall apart. And then basically once I know that it's good, I'll sand everything or grind everything down, and then paint it to make sure that the rust in here doesn't the metal in here doesn't rust. Just some kind of preventative care, obviously, for the future. This beam, this goes all the way through the vehicle pretty much. So this is where you're really going to need the support, and you really want to make sure that this is really strong. This right here, these wheel wells and all that, these, I don't know, I think they're fenders, I don't know. This doesn't matter. I could cut this, I could cut basically all that sheet metal out right there, and it would be just fine. All right here, I could just cut all this out, and it would be just fine. You can see right here, I already welded this piece a long time ago. That was before I was practicing my welds. But, you know, it's held up. I've driven the car quite a bit on it. It's been fine. So, I will have to do the same thing to the other side of this vehicle, because it was involved in an accident. And you can see right here, all this cover-up stuff right here is just JB Weld. Yeah, I just thought I'd bring you guys along for some practice welds. Alright guys, so here we go. I'm gonna put the first tacks in up here, down here, and on this side, and on this side. I'm gonna go a little lower. My ground point, that's the best way that I could think about it, to get it attached there. One thing about when you're welding on your car too is you want to be careful to, you want to make sure and have your battery out always when you're working on your car. It's just smart too. Especially with welding, you're moving a lot of electricity around, so you want to be sure that your battery's not hooked up, and that you're keeping your ground as close to your working piece as possible. So I wouldn't want to put the negative piece all the way out here, because there's electrical stuff in between this point where we'll be making the arc and where the ground is, so where the connection is finishing. So you want to keep that as limited and as close as possible. So from what I've seen, at least. So here we go. We're gonna, the steel is super cold, which isn't good too, I've heard, but I think it should be all right. Well, here we go. Sweet, that one went a lot better. Over here now. So these I need to come at a different angle, because I'm not getting, I didn't get in there. I didn't actually weld this piece of steel to this. I just welded on this piece of steel, so I got to redo those ones. It's okay though. The other two on this left hand side look good though. So technically that piece is in there. So now I just got to finish going through and getting these sides. I'm going to redo these 2 tacks though. Alright, so as you can see, this weld looks a lot different than when I had originally done it. You can also see so, and the car's been running like that for years with no issues. So, you know, I figured anything I could do to it is probably better than what it had already. So, yeah, it looks pretty good. So today I'm just going in with the flap wheel and I'm just cleaning all this stuff up so I can paint it so it doesn't rust. You can see there's already a little bit of flash rust on there, which is fine. That'll come right out. So I'll go ahead and get these all grinded down. Got a wire brush on here. And then from there we'll go ahead and get started on painting it. And then I also have a switch coming in today for the hazard lights and the pop-up headlights. Paint on fire there.